wonderful. Welcome to my channel. Wow, that was some walk, and I only did a half hour, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. There's no air out there, but still it's a really nice night, and so I thought I would take this time out to talk to you a little bit about our next Endless Journeys story, which, like the Titanic ship sinking, takes place quite a number of years ago, although not quite as old as 1912. This goes back to 1937. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the Amelia Earhart story. And it is quite intriguing because it's mysterious. It's still a cold case, guys. Although it's not known if there was anything criminal involved. Now, I'm going to be starting at the beginning, but this is going to be a multi-part story, and I'm going to try not to make the segments very long, because actually after she goes missing, that's it. There's no other situation to talk about. She was declared dead a year and a half later, but we're going to get into that. So hang on and I'll grab my notes. And so we're going to first be dealing with the first part of her childhood, the first part of her life, her childhood, and I guess into her adolescence. And so I'm just going to go very slowly because her life, guys, is indeed, it was, I'm trying to find the word for it. It's so earthy and real. And she didn't have everything handed to her on a silver platter like some of these inventors and celebrities very often do. And so I'm thrilled by her inspiration, her motivation. She inspires everyone, still to this day, and for the very same reasons as she did all those years ago. It's getting to be about a century ago, almost. We're in 23 right now, and she vanished in 1937, so we're almost at the 100-year point. And so Amelia Earhart was born in the same month as I was, in July, actually July the 24th, and her middle name is Mary, and she was born in 1897, and she did end up eventually disappearing again in July of 1937, and she was declared dead on January the 5th, 1939. And so she guys, was a wonderful and amazing figure, an American aviation pioneer, and also a writer of her own biographical story. And she was clearly in a position to write one. And so she was born in Atchison, Kansas, in the United States of America, and was the daughter of Samuel Edwin Stanton Earhart and Amelia Amy Otis. And so she was born in a house, in the home of her maternal grandfather, Alfred Gideon Otis, who was a former federal judge. And I would imagine that is where she got a lot of her support, guys. Imagine having a grandpa who was a federal judge. Wow. And so he was the president of the Atchison Savings Bank and a leading citizen of the town. So he was an honorable man. And the Atchinsons were a very notable and honorable family. And so Earhart was a second child. Amelia was the second child after a stillborn infant. So she was the oldest. The firstborn died in 1896, a year before she came along. And so Amelia was part German descent. Alfred Otis, her grandfather, did not favor the marriage between her parents because he wasn't satisfied with, this is so typical, guys, Edwin's progress as a lawyer. And eventually we will see that this indeed had a downward spiraling effect on Amelia's her life in general. And so as the story unfolds, we will discover that Edwin was indeed a failed lawyer, and it actually ate away at him. Essentially, he was a wonderful and caring parent, but did not manage to toe the line when it was necessary. So according to the family custom, Amelia was named after the two family paternal and maternal grandmothers. And so those names were Amelia Josephine Harries and Mary Wells Patton. So from an early age, Earhart, or Amelia, was a ringleader, while her sister Grace, who was younger by 2 years, was more or less the loyal follower. And so Amelia was nicknamed Millie or Millie, and Grace was Pidget. Those are such cute names. And both girls answered to their nicknames all the way into adulthood. So the girls' upbringing was quite unconventional, guys. And so Amy, the mother, did not believe in raising her daughters to be nice little girls. And coming from that era, I have to really commend Amy. And so, but the maternal grandmother, of course, disapproved of bloomers. What would she think of mine? And she didn't approve of the girls wearing bloomers. And although Amelia did like the freedom of movement that they seemed to provide when she was out playing rough and tumble, she was sensitive to the fact that the neighborhood girls did wear dresses. So she was very self-conscious about that. And so what I mean about that, by that, is simply that Amelia knew that sometimes she was set apart from the other neighbor children, and it really got to her sometimes. And so she did sense from an early age that her family was different from others. And so she did still really have a very strong sense of adventure. And, she set off daily to explore the neighborhood. And I have to say that in those days, although it was a tad bit safer for children to wander off, a good many of them did go missing. But nothing ever happened to Amelia. And so, as a child, she spent hours playing with her sister Pidge, climbing trees, rough and tumble things like hunting rats with a rifle. Um, Boy, that wouldn't have gone down well with Biden. Um, and belly slamming her sled downhill in snowy weather. Although the love of outdoors and rough and tumble play was common in those days, some biographers characterized Amelia as a tomboy. And I have to say that my mother would have wholeheartedly agreed with Amy. I was consistently dressed as a little boy. Yes, people mistook me for a little boy when I was 3, 4, and 5 years old. My mom would put bows in my curls, and I wasn't having any of that. And so I looked just like a little boy. And so my mother would probably have gotten on well with Amy. What can I say? And so the girls, the sisters, Pidge and Millie, kept worms and moths and katydids and a tree toad as pets. Well, maybe I can top that. I had a snail. And in 1904, with her uncle, Amelia how do I say, gathered together a homemade ramp constructed after very similar to a roller coaster that she saw on a trip to St. Louis. And she secured the ramp to the tool shed roof. I have to say, it's like reading a story in an adventure book. It is so outrageous and incredibly real, because that is exactly how children did play in those days, and very different to what they do nowadays, right? And so she was so inspired and motivated by everything around her. What a precocious child. Um, so Amelia's first flight ended dramatically. She emerged from a broken wooden box. Get this, guys. That served as a sled she had a bruised lip and a torn dress. She actually did that wearing a dress. However, she had such a high feeling of exhilaration, and she exclaimed to everybody that it's just like flying. And so she was hooked, guys. From that day on, Amelia Earhart was completely sold on the idea of trying to capture that fleeting moment of freedom and carefreeness of when she would be flying. I mean, I'm sure that she wasn't exactly flying in the same sense as a plane does, but she flew. And she kept trying to recapture and reproduce that moment for the rest of her life. So, needless to say, Amelia, born and raised in Atchison, Kansas, and later in Iowa, um, developed a very strong passion for adventure at quite a young age. And she gained flying experience from going on from her 20s. And so in 1928, Amelia became the first female passenger to cross over the Atlantic Ocean by plane with, she didn't do it alone, with another pilot, Wilmer Schultz, for which she achieved fame and celebrity status. In 1932, 5 years before going missing, she drove or piloted a Lockheed Vega 5B, a plane, a beautiful plane, a beautiful little plane. And Amelia made a non-stop solo transatlantic flight at that point. And so she became the first woman to ever achieve such a feat. And she received the United States Distinguished Flying Cross for this accomplishment. And I have to say, she rubbed elbows at the White House. Way to go. Now, although there had been some missteps in her father, Edwin Earhart's career up to that point, in 1907, his job as a claims officer for the Rock Island Railroad led to a transfer in Iowa to Iowa. And so the next year, at the age of 10, Amelia saw her first aircraft at the Iowa State Fair, and she must have been absolutely enchanted. And so I imagine everybody was, because if you haven't realized by now, in those days, planes were just, you know, maybe like drones now. They were a thing of novelty. They had never been heard of. They were, everybody was in awe of them. And so she saw the first plane there, and her father tried to, at that point, interest her in taking a flight in a plane. And it's comical because it doesn't seem, it's very ironical what her reaction of boredom and utter distaste was. She preferred to go back to the merry-go-round. And so she, at that point, I guess she was too frightened, and it was very new and strange to her. They were probably giving out rides for children and adults. It was like a circus ride. And so she ended up describing that little plane as a rusty old wire, and with not much interest at all for her. She was not at all captivated by that little plane. And so, as we will see, her feelings did come to change, and so did her taste in planes. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to stop right here. This is enough for the introduction, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this story, because it is, her life is fascinating. I can't imagine being a woman in those days achieving these sorts of accomplishments. And so we'll get into this a little more next time. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to obviously be rustling up dinner, because I'm not in a cooking mood, not all this month at least. And then I'll probably get started on my home project at home. And so I you know I have other things on my mind that I'm not going to share right now, but I did let you in on a little bit of it last night, or the night before. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this, and so my mind is kind of distracted. So I'm going to go home, hit the store first, and then I'll see what I can rustle up for dinner. I'll talk to you later. Hi everybody, so I'm home and I have my salad. I'm not eating very well or very healthy these days, but this is celebration week for me, so I have to sort of pass through it And I have a couple more days left. Um, and then I can start forgetting all about these tempting treats and maybe go back to the lemonade cleanse. We'll have to see. But for now, I'm not really interested in following anything rigid. But I know that that's going to have to start happening soon if I want to stay healthy. Right now, I think I'm a little too healthy and too robust. But anyway, I'll show you my salad and let you have a look. So guys, this is my salad. It's not very big, but it looks wonderful. And I think it might be worth every bit of that $9. And so this is the dressing that I chose with it. And I guess I'm gonna just dig in right now. So I'm gonna have my salad and then I'm gonna get started on that little project that I have in the laundry room. I'm gonna clear out that pantry and reorganize it, take a shelf out, and it shouldn't take very long at all. But I want to make sure that I'm very clean and neat because the things that are going into the master bathroom have to be spotless. And so, okay, I'll take you along on the job after I'm done with my salad, and you can have a look. Hi guys, so I'm back and I did decide to keep that uppermost shelf there just to hold on to those items and keep them separate from everything else that I use on my daily basis. And this is pretty much for straight hair, except for Maui. It just fit better there. And this is all for curly hair. And I have all my brushes and combs for wet hair. And my razor blades. I never shave, guys. I never shave. There's never anything there. And so I have pretty much the shampoo and conditioner of every set. And these are the things that I use on a daily basis. I rotate. One day I'll use the She Moisture, and then the next day I'll use Andalou. I wash my hair about 3 times a week, something like that. And then when I want to rinse out all the product that's been building up, I use Aveeno Clean and Shine, the one with vinegar and apple cider. It's a really good blend and it really works. And those are the ones that are gone. I'm still using them bit by bit. It's my favorite shampoo in the whole world. And there's the other favorite, and they're both by Herbal Essence. And so that's it. Those are the things that I hardly ever use. And that's my old hair dryer. It just fits better up there. And so, guys, this is it. I hope that I can keep it this neat because it really, on a day-to-day basis, it kind of gets really messy. And so I don't like cleaning it out a lot because every time I do, I end up throwing something away. Those are, to me, they're worthless. They don't do the trick. It's basically for when I wear my hair straight, but I may put them somewhere else, but I'm not crazy about these. And so the other one for curly hair with the strawberry blend, it's a little better. I use it from time to time, so that one I'll keep. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me show you what I did in the other cupboards. And so, guys, if you can remember that plastic tub that I had sitting in the laundry room in the middle of the shelf there, I emptied that out, and this is what's in there. These are all the travel items that we collected over the years as a family. And I have so many of those little tubes. It's not funny. They're all in the refrigerator. And so that's where I go if I ever need to pack a little travel bag or something like that. Lately, it hasn't been any need for that at all, and I rather like it like that. But of course, some of these items are banned now. Bear in mind that I started collecting these so long ago, and so they're all so handy. And most of these are the kits that my dad used to get when he traveled, and they have such amazing little items in there. Um, a comb and a shoehorn, a razor blade, and shaving foam, um, sleep blinders. It's awesome. I have my little flat iron in there. That is so handy. Anyway, guys, so that's cleaned up. I'm still trying to find a little space for these. I need to put them in a tray so like that they don't drip. You know what, guys? I know that I could very well throw these out, but I'm sentimental. And I've washed the bottles over and over again, and they smell divine. That's why I keep them. They're full of good memories. And I put all those canisters together now, and so everything fits so well. And so I'm keeping this part of the area very clean and very neat. I don't ever come in here unless I need something here. That's it. My job is done. Now all I have to do is paint the walls. Well, guys, that's it for today. And I know it wasn't much of a beginning of a video, but I really wanted to concentrate on getting my story out about Amelia Earhart. And I hope that you enjoyed listening to the first part of our discussion. And so stay tuned. There will be another part coming out soon enough. And I'm just scouring the bookshelf and the internet and headlines for other endless journey cases. And I'm coming up with a couple here and there, but they're in the works. And so thank you very, very much for watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.